Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Bhalabha Giribharadhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Shatashishimad His Divine Grace AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki His co-founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Oh glory to the assembled devotees, oh glory to the assembled devotees, oh glory to the assembled devotees, oh glory to Shishiguru and Shigoranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summon Bonon, Chapter 56, the Shamantaka, text number 28. Jasye sat utkalitas rosa katak samokshair. Barmadishat Shubitanakratimingalodhi. Setu krita swajasa ujjwalita chalanka. Rakshashiram sibubipeturishu shatani. Jasyesha utkalita rosa katak shamokshair. Badmadishat Shubitanakratimingalopti. Setu krita swajasa ujjwalita chalanka. Rakshashiram sibubipeturishu shatani. Jasyeshat utkalita rosa katak shamokshair. Barmadishat Shubitanakratimangalopti. Setu krita swajasa ujjwalita chalanka. Rakshasiram sibubirpetur isha shatani. Please chant. Yasyesha utkalita rosha kataksha mokshair. Varmadishat shubita nakrati mingalopti. Setu krita swajasa ujjwalita chalanka. Rakshasiransi bhuvi peturisha satani. Yasyesha utkalita rosa kataksha mokshair. Varmadishat shubita nakrati mangaloddi. Setu krita swajasa ujjwalita chalanka. Rakshasiram sibhuvi petur ishu kathani. Yasyesha utkalita rosha kataksha mokshair. Varmadishat shubita nakrati mingalopti. Setu krita swajasa ujjwalita chalanka. Rakshasiram sibhuvi petur ishu shatani. Yasyesha utkalita rosa kataksha mokshair. Varmadishat shubita nakrati mingalopti. Setu krita swajasa ujjwalita chalanka. Rakshasiram sibhuvi petur ishu chatani. Jasya, whose, ishat, slightly, utkalita, manifested, rosha, from the anger, kata aksha, of sidelong glances, mokshai, because of the release, vardma, away, adishat, show, shubita, agitated, nakra, in which the crocodiles, timingalaha, and huge timingala fish, abhi, the ocean, setu, a bridge, kritaha, made, swa, his own, jasyaha, fame, ujjwalita, set ablaze, cha, and Lanka, the city of Lanka, Rakshaha, of the demon, Ravana, Shiramsi, the heads, Bhuvi, to the ground, Petuhu, fell, Ishu, by whose arrows, Shatani, cut off, Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. You are He who impelled the ocean to give way when his sidelong glances slightly manifested his anger, disturbed the crocodiles and timingila fish within the watery depth. You are He who built a great bridge to establish His fame, who burned down the city of Lanka and whose arrows severed the heads of Ravana, which then fell to the ground. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Ummilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Prabhupada Swami Niti Namini. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on this verse. By throwing your slightly angry glance, the ocean filled with agitated crocodiles and timingila fish gave you a path. You build a bridge as well, which is your very fame. You burned down Lanka and cut off by your arrows the heads of Ravana, which fell to the ground. I recognize that you are that Lord. And Srila Jiva Goswami comments, though Hanuman burned Ujjalita Lanka, it was because of Rama's powers. Or Rama caused Lanka to be burned. Since you are like this, you are my worshipable Rama. Or, though Rama is merciful to persons like me, in the following manner, you only are like this. Your arrows sever the heads of Ravana and other Rakshasas. So, these are the prayers that Jambavan is offering to Lord Krishna after fighting for 21 days. Right? 21 days. Yeah. Very, 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 strong fight. But eventually, Jambavan was defeated. Now, Jambavan, although he didn't recognize Krishna, and in some way, he didn't recognize Krishna because he was covered. Externally appears he was covered by this attachment to family. So he got enraged because he felt or appeared that this stranger was in the chambers where his little son was playing. Now, you know the danger that is there when you actually mess around with the cubs of a gigantic bear. It's guaranteed you're finished. By nature, there will be this sense of protecting the little cub from any type of danger. So externally appears that Jambavan was not able to recognize Krishna because of this family attachment. Now we know that's not possible because Jambavan is an eternal associate of the Lord. Jambavan is a pure devotee. And Jambavan, as a pure devotee, there is no way he can be overcome by the material conditions of life. So we know how this happened. So Yogamaya also have this potency to cover the perception of the pure devotee. And so the pure devotee cannot at times, when covered by the influence of Mahamaya, cannot recognize Krishna as he is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, by the influence of Yogamaya, um, Jambavan's vision was covered, and then he fought with Lord Krishna. Now, the reason is because we understand also this. Yogamaya facilitates Krishna's desires for his pastimes. So the pure devotee Jambavan was participating in Krishna's pastimes. And this is part of the story of the Shamantaka that have so many instructions, very, very important instructions for us as we go through these pastimes. Now, the position of Jambavan is quite amazing. Have we discussed during the class the stories of Jambavan? You know, yeah. I mean, who he was and how he came to be and all that. You cover, you know, how he appeared as the son of Brahma and all that. Okay, so then I should not go. Sadly, I was in the kitchen, so uh, so as we heard before, Jambavan is considered one of the Chiranjivas. You brought that up? Yes. So Chiranjivas, their personalities, there's not many of them in the creation, but they're considered almost immortal because their lifespan goes through basically so many, I mean, a long, long time. They basically uh, they go through different even cycles of yugas. Sometimes even through the the whole partial annihilation and also um, um, rebuilding or the manifestation of the universe again by Lord Brahma. We know that one day of Brahma is 1,000 cycles of Yuga, right? And it is explained that even by the time Jambavan was participating in Ram Lila, he was 6 Manvantaras old. So six Manvantaras. So what is a Manvantara? Manvantara is the lifespan of one Manu. And in the day of Brahma, there is 40 Manus. So you calculate that 1,000 cycles of Yuga, and can remember the number, but it's 432, 860 something, 1,000,000 and 600 something, and then Satya Yuga is the double of that. So you sum all that, and then you multiply by 1,000, and you divide that into 14. So you have the lifespan of one man. So 14 manus in a day of Brahma. So he was 6 manus old, 6 Manvantaras old. So almost a little less than half. So you can calculate how old he was by the time he was participating in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Very, very old. like it was covered in the classes, he is the son of Lord Brahma. And he manifested by Brahma. There's different stories, but the one that appears in the Ramayana by Valmiki is that he came from Lord Brahma Joni. So let me see. I think I have a quote here from the Valmiki Ramayana. Yeah, this is from the Balakanta of the Valmiki Ramayana, which is the first part of the Ramayana, in which is narrated how the time that the demigods was praying to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu was instructing all the demigods to take birth, that he was going to come in the dynasty of the sun. He was going to appear in the dynasty of King Ishwaku, and as a son of Dasarath, King Dasarath, and to annihilate all the burdens of the demons that were causing so much trouble to the earth. And so all he instructed Brahma to direct the demigods to appear as, in different, either as part of the Sun dynasty or as monkeys. So directly he direct them to appear as monkeys. So then Lord Brahma now is guiding or directing all the demigods. This is what is narrating here, to appear in earth. And then he says that a part of that, Jambavan also will be there, but Jambavan is already there. He have already um, given or manifesting Jambavan. So this is at the instance of Brahma. Devas procreate different forms of monkey chiefs and bears. When Vishnu had decided to be born as the son of the great king Dasarath, the self-born Lord Brahma addressed the Devatas. Create strong and powerful beings capable of assuming forms at free will to extend support to Vishnu, who is true to his word, heroic and benevolent. Incarnate as monkeys in the womb of chiefs Apsaras and Gandharvas. Create sons who have the knowledge of deceitful tricks, who are brave, who match wind in speed, who are endowed with intellectual and statecraft, who are determined, who are knowledgeable in various means of achieving victory, who are supernatural bodies, who possesses capabilities of employing and resisting weapons, who resemble those who subsist on Amrita, immortals, and are equal to Vishnu in prowess. And then he says, earlier, Jambavan, the foremost among the birds, was suddenly emerged out of my face while I was yawning. So this is, you cover that? Yes. So he manifests for Lord Brahma just like other great personalities in the universe, like Lord Shiva, like the four Kumaras, Narada Muni, the seven Saptarishis, or the rishis that manifested from the mind of uh, Lord Brahma. So many great personalities, Swayambhuva Manu, different personalities who were direct sons of Brahma. So This Jambavan was one of them. Jambavan has participating in many, many different pastimes of the Lord. So we heard that he was present during the churning of the milk ocean. You mentioned that? Yeah, he was present during the churning of the milk ocean. So he witnessed the pastimes of Lord Kurma, right? And he was present during Lord Vamanadev appearance. And that's also described by himself. Also is quoted in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 8th canto. There's just one verse that confirms that Jambavan was present during the pastimes of Lord Vamanadev. So in the Bhagavatam, this is in the 8th canto, chapter 21, text number 8, which is describing how the part when Lord Vamana expands into the conqueror of the 3 planetary systems. So he have this gigantic form and that covers all the universes, and then how he punished Bali Maharaj, Mahabali. And so in the context of that chapter, then is described Jambaban Rishak Rajastu Bari Sabdair Manojava Vijayan Dikshu Sharvashu Mohat Savam Agosayat. Jambavan, king of bears, also joined in the ceremony. Sounding his bugle in all directions, he declared a great festival for Lord Vamanadev's victory. So he plays a very, very wonderful part. Now, in the Ramayan is described, he described himself this time that he performed this pastime with Lord Vamanadev. You quoted that he circumambulated, he told about how strong he was and all that. Yes. So I'm going to read from the Ramayan, Valmiki Ramayan, his own story about that. And the context is when Sugriva Maharaj sent all these armies of monkeys in the different directions to look for Sita. He sent to the south because there was an understanding, the from the witness of Jatayu that the thief, the demon Ravana who adopted Sita Devi, was heading south. So he sent the most trusted and powerful group to the south. And they were headed by Hanuman, by Anga, Prince Anga, the crown prince of the Banaras, and Jambavan. So during that time, they reached the shore of India, or the tip, the southern tip of India. What is the name of it? Setuganda? You know, remember? Ram Setu. That's the tip, the place, and then they were informed by the brother of Jatayu, Sampati, that yes, he saw, and he actually have, vultures supervision, so he actually can see the island. You know, the island was many, many, many miles away, into the ocean, into the Indian Ocean. And then the monkey generals were discussing how are we going to be able to cross this ocean and pursue and find Sita in this island. So this is the context. And so you hear about a little bit of Jambavan's, story. He narrated it himself. Because he's saying, they're all analyzing, okay, so I have these strengths, I may be able to jump so many miles, like that. But, so they were trying to make the calculations. So this is for Kishinda, Kishinda, Kishinda Kanta, part of the Ramayana. So the context, each of the monkey leaders declare the distance they can fly. Jambavan resolved not to send Angada, but send Hanuman instead to cross. So in this instance also, Jambavan reminded Hanuman of his powers, so he was able to remove this spell that was put on Hanuman to hide, to be able to access all his amazing powers. So, okay. Thereafter, on hearing Angada, all the leaders among the monkeys, Gaja, Gavaksha, Gavaya, Sarabha, Gandamandana, Mainda, Dvivida. Remember Dvivida? Dvivida also appeared in Krishna's Lila, but as a rascal gorilla. Bad association. But Dvivida was one of the great general monkeys during the army of Lord Ramachandra. Shushena and Jambavan as well expressed one after the other their capability for leaping. Gaja said he can leap 10 joyanas, and Gavaksha said he can go up to 20 joyanas. Then I think a joyana is 11 miles, as far as I remember, something like that. Then Gavaya said to the monkeys, I can leap 30 joyanas. Sarabha said, I can leap 40 joyanas. Bright Gandamadana said, I can leap as far as 50 joyanas without any doubt. Mainda said, I can leap more than 60 joyanas. Highly brilliant Dvivida said in turn, I can no doubt leap 70 yojanas. Brilliant and best of the monkeys, Shushena declared, I can leap across 80 yojanas. When the monkeys were talking of their individual capacity in that manner about their speed, Jambavan, the oldest of the monkeys, inferred their capacity and said, earlier, so here's Jambavan's, story. Earlier, I was very courageous, but now I have become old and reached the fact end of life. However, in this situation, it is not possible for us to neglect our task, and it is the order of the Monkey King and Rama who are determined to achieve the objective. Jambavan, the distinguished among the monkeys, again said, my strength to leap into the sky was not only that much. I was stronger in my youth and could cover long distances. In the past, at the time of the well-known Yagya of Kimbali, I was very strong. circumambulated the eternal Vishnu while he was taking 3 strides in his incarnation as Tribhakam Vamana. He says 3 times, and there's also a narration he did it 7 times. Right? Huh? 21 times. And so there's different, but this is about Miki Ramaja in general. But regardless, in a breath, you know, around the universe. 7, 3, 21, is quite incredible. Having grown old, I do not have the same courage. In my youth, my prowess was incomparable, and none could excel me. I guess that at that time, I do not have the capacity to fly to that extent. No, sorry. I guess that at this time, I do not have the capacity to fly to that extent. Achieving the objective is out of question with this much of energy. The wise Angada said to the great Jambavan in a gentle manner about his own strength, I can certainly go a distance of 100 yojanas. However, I cannot say whether I will have enough capacity to return. So the island was 100 yojanas long. So all monkeys were a little short. I mean, the longest one was Dvivida, but he was up to 80 yojanas. Angada was able to do it, but he says, I can, spend all that energy in the leap to get there, but to get back, I'm not sure. Jambavan, who was skillful in speech, spoke to the great Angada. O leader among monkeys and bears, your energy to cover this distance is well known to us. You can go up to even 100,000 yojanas and have the required energy to return also. But it is not proper to send you because you are the heir apparent. O scorchers of enemies, you are established as the commander of the army, and it is proper for us to protect you as we protect our life. O subduers of enemy, in accomplish this task, you are the root. O dear, therefore you should always be taken care of by us, just like the wife is looked after. Anyway, it goes like that, and eventually um, um, Jambavan turned to Hanuman and reminded Hanuman of his powers. That's another beautiful narration, but it's out of context with this. So Jambavan is found his Ishtadeva in Lord Ramachandra, the Lord of his heart. And as soon as he was able, by the fight with Krishna, he became his illusion, or the covering that didn't allow him to see Krishna was removed, and when he was able to see Krishna for who he was, he immediately recognized him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the same Ramachandra who was his Istadeva. So he's able to express, you are the same, you are my Lord. And so Jambavan, with the great powers, there's another part of the narration in the Ramayana of the powers of Jambavan. He was as powerful as 100,000 elephants, or so many thousands, 100,000s of lions. That's why He was able to finish that lion, in no time. Uh, the the in his youth, he was so powerful that the demigods were a little nervous. And not only that, his power was increasing as the time was passing. So they there was some I can I didn't have the time to research that, but there was some some sort of arrangement to make him become old. So he was forced to old age to diminish his powers. And even then, he was so powerful. He was so powerful, he knocked down with a kick in the chest Ravana. And Ravana was, not a, I mean, Hanuman was not able to knock uh, uh, Ravana. I mean, Hanuman punched Ravana and Ravana went, and just that, being able to push him down, push him back, you know, Ravana was acknowledging no one had ever been able to do that. Uh, with one punch. And Jambavan not only, punched him very strongly, but with a kick, he he made him lose his consciousness. So there's a story that the chariot driver have to take Ravana out of the battlefield. And when Ravana regained his consciousness, he was so angry that he was taken away that I can't remember if he killed the chariot driver or not, but something like that. He was very angry. But the point is that Jambavan was very, very powerful, very powerful. And we hear here that, while fighting with Lord Krishna, he was exhibiting that, super human powers, superpowers. He received when Lord Ramachandra uh, finished his pastance in this world, and he was, going back to the spiritual world. And we know that he took everybody. But here in the world, two remain, Hanuman and Jambavan. And both were very, very distressed about about the, the thing of being separation with the Lord. And we know that Hanuman has maintained himself by constantly narrating the passions of the Lord. And so another Chiranjiva. And the instruction that was given to Jambavan was to don't worry, that he will appear again, because Jambavan immediate meditation was, that he was so happy to fight alone with uh, with Lord Ramachandra. And then Lord Ramachandra said, "Don't worry, we'll meet again, and we fight. We will fight alone again." He didn't know that he was going to fight to each other. But so that assurance gave Jambavan these great expectations to meet with the Lord again. So he's staying. There's a there's a wonderful. You can still visit his cave in anything close in the region of Dwarka, in Gujarat. There is the cave of Jambavan. You have to go down, and it's a it's a It's a wonderful space, you know. Actually, it is said that you can live very comfortably in that cave because there's water, fresh water. There's even some means of getting some light in. And inside the cave, there's these two very ancient Shiva lingams that he used to worship. So, so anyway, it's a great, great personality that is, you know, has had that so much connection with the different lila avatars of Lord Krishna, and eventually being, you know, a servant of Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. And we know that he offers his daughter, beautiful Jambavati, as in marriage to Krishna. So anyway, I stop here. Is hearing from the past tense of Riksharaj, king, the king of the bears.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for this beautiful description of Jambavan's glories. Uh, as you mentioned, the Ishtadev of Jambavan was Lord Ramachandra, and he was he's so strong. And you know, whenever we talk about strength, I'm always interested to know, you know, what is the source of strength. You know, like Hanuman, they said that when he would say Ram, then he would get so much energy and then he would leap across the ocean. And does it, is there any mention of, you know, who, how, you know, about his strength, or how his source of strength, something like this?
It doesn't. I don't remember, you know, uh, reading something like that. But Krishna says in that in the Gita, he is the strength of the stronger. It's strong, right? 7th chapter. Um, Hanuman's position is ultra special. So it's another level of uh, bhakti. And Hanuman is the emblem of the dasya relationship with the Supreme Lord. Um, but Riksharaj and Jambavan, he have this sort of chivalrous relationship with the Lord. You know, he was very much, he was like a general type. It's like Bhishma Dev, you know. So he was very knowledgeable, and because he's been around for such a long time, that's why, you know, he plays such an important part as a counsel, or as a, you know, someone who will give advice both to Sugriva and to Lord Ramachandra and to Hanuman. So he was very, very wise. But he's chivalrous. So he think with Lord Ramachandra, when he have to stay, it's like, you know, he wanted to continue fighting along with him, you know. So I guess whenever the next, you know, pastimes of Lord Ramachandra is, that's his desire. So the Lord fulfilled that desire. So, you know, we fight. So so is that type of relationship, you know, like Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev acknowledged that Arjuna was a much higher intimate relationship with Krishna, and the image that he had of Krishna was Krishna being in the battlefield with, wounded by his arrows. That's the, image. I guess sometimes you see the image of some devout Christians is of Christ in the cross bleeding and, like that. So I don't know. But, is that is a particular Baba, it's a particular type of, so yeah, in terms of his strength, for sure, they recognize, all devotees always recognize that you're the source of his strength. And the fact that Jambavan, that was how he became that the whole curtain of illusion was removed by saying, with all his powers and his strength, the only person who cannot, that he cannot defeat will be his Istadeva, who is the source of his strength. So through that he realized.
Yes, Prabhu. I also was thinking about Bhishma Dev when I was, checking out about Jambavan, and I also thought about this similarity that the Bhishma Dev said, either he told to Arjuna that either your friend has to break his promise or I will kill you. So he also was in that mood. I also.
Yeah. It's a chivalrous mood. Any other question?
So King of the Bears, and also mention of a bird body.
Or the what?
King of the Bears, and also there was mention of a bird body.
Which body?
Bird.
Bird?
Huh, that's what I heard you say.
No.
No.
Spanish accents. Bear. She's also described sometimes as a monkey, but like a vanara, or like so he's also described more in that race, of the monkeys. But he's a rickshaw. Rickshaw means a bear. So I guess during that whole race of powerful beings, of monkeys and bears were related. Okay, thank you so much. Garantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.